Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. So, I have been watching a lot of the Fat Camp material, and I'm going to go through my own recap of what's been going on. Um, and I'm going to cover some clips of uh, various shows to show you what has been happening. Um, as for me, the reason I've slowed down producing content, I am getting a bit better. I had a successful journey to my trash can last night, which has been the first time I've been able to actually carry trash bags in a couple months because when I left the hospital, I was so I had so much muscle atrophy that it was impossible for me to do simple tasks like that. So I am catching up. I'm getting a little bit better, and I can take a breather here to cover some of the drama that's been going on in Fat Camp and Girl World. Um, Girl World. Oh my God. They're so gross. And here, Keemstar. Hang on a second. That we're going to talk. Sorry, it's that time of the morning where the sun's coming into my bedroom and Miss Sally is seeing the early morning joggers and dog walkers and such that she needs to guard the house from, of course. Right, Miss Sally? Yes? Okay. So, basically, Keemstar was asked through one of the donations last night whether he would consider adding Amber Lynn Reed to Queens. I mean, obviously it's your channel, your universe, your business model. I'm just going to be real with you as a business management professional myself. I think that some of your decisions are pretty poor, which is why you've had to cancel some of your shows and such, and you have had some drama that is unnecessary. I know that you like the fighting. I know that you like that sort of stuff, but it's gotten so out of hand that it's getting to the point where it's unbearable to watch. And I will go through that in a bit. So let's first go over the Becky situation.
But we got an hour and some change. It's a pleasure to see you in person, though, bro. That's amazing.
I think something that people did not realize is how different we are in general. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like, Ken towers over me. Not only that, but he's a pretty strong guy.
So Ken is not staying on property because Becky is such a liability that pretty much all of the men on the property are afraid that she's going to make false claims against them. Also, despite signing a waiver when she walked in last night, um, there were strict instructions that she could not face penalties like the other hosts and cast members that were there, such as getting hit with a paintball or getting slapped around. Like Boogie's been getting slapped on his rash, which could be heat rash, it could be body lice, who knows what the hell it is. But there, folks, by the way, y'all keep talking about the water. You have to consider that there's swimmer's itch in that water, which means that as soon as you get out, you need to rinse off. Okay? So there's that. But anyway, Ken got a hotel room offsite because he wants to be protected. He doesn't want to be anywhere around her. And I think the majority of the cast of the entire universe is pretty pissed off that Keem let Becky stay. But his primary goal is to make money from drama. The thing is, Keem, we don't want to hear the nails on the chalkboard that is her voice. And as soon as she started feeling comfortable in eating your food and drinking your drink, despite not being a welcome guest on that property, she started barking out instructions to Lolcow live hosts in the room. You should do it this way. You should do it that way. Shut up, bitch. Do you notice that you were literally sitting in the furthest chair away because nobody wants to sit next to you? Nobody wants her there. Period.
And I'm just like this tiny little bean in front of Ken. But Fat Camp, how you feeling so far about Fat Camp?
So if I can be brutally honest, the Roxy punishments are getting a little out of hand. Like, it's literally getting hard to watch, if I can be honest with you. I'm normally a pretty demented dude with my entertainment. Like, I can watch like some wild stuff happen and be fine, but I think it's getting a little excessive. But, I did have a friend that came with me. So we will be doing that. It will be members only content. So if y'all want to see me help Roxy face her fears of our little friend, make sure you become a member, and we're going to make it happen.
Yes, sir.
She apparently has a fear of Chucky dolls.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I was just, it threw me off that like your mic had just changed your audio.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So before we get to all the surprises that happened, I think we should do the Daily Espresso.
We should. But before we do that, I brought Tim Hortons to Fat Camp because if y'all know, I am a... What's up?
Talking to the mic.
Talking to the mic?
Yes.
All right. I am... This is going to suck with my back because I'm so tall and y'all are some short fucks.
You can bring it up just a little bit.
I can? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Look at me, chat. Look at me. I'm learning. The Boomer Report lives. So, yeah, I brought Tim Hortons to Fat Camp because we need a good coffee here. So that's what I have in my cup, some Tim Hortons. I also got Miss Bean some Cafe Bustelo.
By the way, I've never watched one of the cafes the whole way through. This is probably the most chill of the Lolcow shows, but it usually falls at the same time as the YouTube Underground, which I have some issues with that show now too. But I do still watch it. I just don't engage.
Because I felt bad that she was drinking piss instead of coffee.
Basically.
So, shout out.
Well, I told Ken right off the rip that, hey, just letting you know, we have a coffee machine. There's two parts to it. There's the actual coffee pot part, and then there's the cafe. What are those called? Like K-cups?
Yeah, so it's a Keurig Duo, right? I had one of these before. The coffee pot section is terrible, right? Because when you go to brew coffee, it worked like 10 times, and it just stopped. So I ended up going with the Ninja, right? Because the Ninja, you can do individual cup all the way down to like a full carafe in one thing. And so it's a lot more controllable. I've had the Ninja going on about 2 years now. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's basically what happened to this machine here. Like, the pot part does not work at all. We've been just surviving off of the K-cups, and it's been terrible.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Not while I'm here anyway. But
yeah, you went out and you bought like a full-on like pot just for...
Yeah, so I bought a coffee pot. I bought a coffee grinder because we only do whole beans. No pun intended, in the Lolcow Cafe. And then, I got some half and half. I got some stuff to make some breakfast after the show. It's going to be awesome. We will be recording dinner tonight when I cook for dinner. So, that's going to be up for members only content. We love our members here. And also, I got a pretty awesome giveaway that we're going to be doing for the crowns and the pay pigs. They will have a chance at that, which we will be doing that after Fat Camp, but we will be discussing it today.
$2 Canadian from Doug Savannah.
Hey.
Oh, it's coffee time.
Hey, Doug.
And $20 from Karinaru. Good morning, beautiful beans and Ken.
Good morning, good morning.
Doug and Karinaru always supported the cafe. It's beautiful, guys. It's beautiful. All right, so let's get into this thing.
So, you have the docket pulled up, right?
I can't. What kind of
I
producer are you, bro?
legitimately asked you before.
See, here we go.
I thought you were talking to Ken. My bad.
Here we fucking go with the failures. I can't.
Can you send me the link?
Didn't I send it to you like just a couple days ago? All you have to do is scroll.
Let me go find it.
Real quick, I know y'all are used to your female key time, whatever that means. So, hopefully, Batgirl, you know what I mean? I can assume that personality. I can't. Never mind.
I think with the lack of sleep, you cannot do that right
No,
now.
I couldn't. Plus, I'd have to grow hair out, have to dye it orange, and lose a lot of weight.
Well, it is Fatcamp.
Get short.
Well, so you decided to get a hotel room. You decided not to sleep here. What was your reasoning?
Becky.
Facts.
So legit, I tell you, I stand by what I said. I do not want to be alone, a room and alone with her. I don't give a fuck if she hears this or not. But I know a lot of people in the Discord, a lot of people in chat, Reddit, whatever, say they saw this coming. Legitimately, from what I understand, just being here and just listening to the vibe, listening to people talk, that was not planned whatsoever. I can't express it enough. It was not planned. So. I really have nothing to say to her. She did come up and shake my hand, but we were in a group of 10 people, so I felt safe. And, she shook my hand, say, pleasure to meet you. I didn't say a word. I shook her hand to be a gentleman, and then she carried on, and I haven't said one word since.
Okay,
And for a woman who supposedly has rheumatoid arthritis, she was able to jump out of the chair, run across the room. She was throwing things. She's already causing chaos, and um, she is a liability. The reality is that you can't have somebody who could potentially throw things at the other cast members and who doesn't even work for you. She literally crashed the party. In my opinion, she should have been given 20 minutes to evacuate the property or have the local authorities called to take her away for trespassing. That was ridiculous to keep her there. And had you actually agreed to her terms, she would have quit again by next week. The woman is not stable. She will sue you even if she breaks a nail.
so until that gets pulled up, let's just move on to the daily horoscope for March 21st.
We're finally at Aries, chat. We're finally at Aries, the best horoscope of all the horoscopes, because
Okay, so I'm going to copy the link for this live stream, which happened this morning, and you can go and watch the whole thing. They do start talking about everybody is praising Twiggy, which makes this situation even more dangerous because it appears that every night he is becoming intoxicated and belligerent on these shows. And apparently, what happened last night, I started watching um, Lolcow Aussie, and then I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I believe it was on Lolcow Test, and there he was getting therapy from Nightmare. So this is probably 2 or 3 in the morning that he's getting therapy. Rostov has called in because apparently he said, I can't work with him anymore. I'm not doing the show anymore if he's still here. And the entire docket team quit too. And Nightmare, I know your intentions were good, but you're not a mental health professional. And you have no business trying to coach that kid into some sort of reality. The boss needs to pull him. It's up to him himself to get the therapy he needs so that he's not constantly deflecting blame onto everybody else around him for his problems, for the problem that he thinks that he's so misunderstood. Well, sweetheart, if you think that you're producing the best content in the world, why are you always whining like a bitch and crying that nobody likes you and that you don't care what the chat has to say? You don't care about your donors. By the way, I think you completely misunderstood Keem's advice to you. When Keem said, don't listen to the chat to direct the content of your channel, he meant that the people who are most likely to speak up in the chat are probably trolls. But that is not the problem here. The problem is not that people were trolling your channel. The problem is that you are unstable and bringing it online. And your people are reacting to that and they don't want to watch it. I've never seen Keem behave the way you do. By the way, Lolcow Live has a completely different type of audience. They've been around much longer. They like that sort of crass style of humor and yelling and, so on and so forth. That is not the vibe that was created on Aussie. And if you can't figure out what the vibe is, sit the fuck down and shut up. But nobody's going to want to watch you whine and complain and cry and scream just like Becky on your channel or on anybody else's channel. Why the hell are you channel hopping so that you can just do this over and over again? What a whiny bitch. All right, so let me also get into what happened here with Yo Mama. Okay, so I'm going to use French Fried Girl's stream from yesterday to cover this because she is responsible for the BBJ rescue. When Chantel was planning on putting her cat down after mistreating her and starving her and so on and so forth. And Yo Mama is one of her big ass patters that she and Amber Lynn have gotten a lot of support from. And Kate, we see you. We see you coming up and trying to take over that particular space. Good luck with that.
Of us in this community are. It's kind of our thing. That's right. That's right. There's no lying his way, manipulating, twisting of words, and circle jerking and circle talking his way out of this one. The most beautiful thing in this community, and any community, I love when It's not somebody's word against somebody's word, or she said, or whatever the fuck. You take someone's word and just let them speak for themselves. It is the most beautiful thing in my opinion, and that's exactly what we're about to watch together. Slow Mama speaking out of his own mouth. There's no walking this one back. Val the Fluffy Potato, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Free the rat bass before a long drive home. She hides the well, I mean, not cuties, Tracy. Thank you for the super chat. Love all this community for animal love. Yeah, it's kind of our thing. We're dicks to people, but fuck, we love the animals, and that's fair. So, a little warning before we get going. Like I said, this is gross. Brace yourself for gross. If you don't want to hear this gross, let's say dip and come back in about 20 minutes. We should be done with this shit.
You can find, I think, 3 different videos on Gorlick Bread's channel where he and a couple other reactor creator friends, did the research to dig this up. And it wasn't hard, Keem, to find it because it was still on his own channel, which he has now taken offline. This is your employee of the month. Amazing.
But I want everyone to hear this, okay? Gigi, hello, thank you for the super chat. All right, let me get the tab. Let's fucking get into this. Hold on. Francesca, thank you for the super chat, girl.
So yesterday, people in your chat are asking you for accountability, right? You spend hours and hours pretending to look for others' accountability. I mean, look at all this content about BBJ. I mean, how long did you spend pretending to be concerned about BBJ? Now let's see how you spoke though about your neighbor's cat.
Stupid ass goddamn cat. I'm the reason why I'm not going because I'll probably kill that mother. Kick the shit out of it one day. God damn it.
That's you, Jovan? Talking about...
Did everyone... I just want to make sure everybody heard what he just said.
About your neighbor's cat.
Stupid ass goddamn cat. I'm the reason why I'm not going because I'll probably kill that mother. Kick the shit out of it one day. God damn it.
That's you, Jovan? Talking about kicking a cat, the cat passing, and laughing? But you know what?
It's a cat. It's a funeral for the neighbor's cat. Okay? And he, while laughing, says he's not going to the funeral for the cat. He probably killed the cat. He kicked the shit out of the cat. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, that's right.
Like I said, it gets so much worse. But I want to start, though, with the lying. We're going to go back to yesterday when Jovan, he wanted to be the victim, right? Everyone else is just weird. When his own chat is demanding for him to explain his actions, laughing at JML's dog whining during his stream. I want to play this stream, and I want it to be very clear. This is Jovan explaining the incident.
You hear his dog right there? Woo, woo, woo. You hear his dog barking? Okay.
So that is him clearly saying, you hear his own words. But now, yesterday, when confronted with this, he wants to pretend that he was just laughing at noises the dog made because he wants to downplay it.
Stop the cat. The dog wasn't howling in pain. It made a weird ass dog sound while he was playing the game, and I laughed about it. Is that what we're getting upset about?
No, Jovan. No one is getting upset about that because it isn't what happened. Let me play this clip for you again. Again, the day that it happened, this is you.
His brother yells out, Jamel, get the dog. Jamel's like, why? Well, obviously because the dog's barking like crazy, right? Y'all heard that. Okay. Oh, that dog is struggling out. He ain't even phased. Yo, he's not even phased, bro. That dog went from barking normally to making these weird ass sounds, dog, after J-Mel took care of him.
So in the moment, right, you're admitting the dog is struggling. You admitted that the dog seemed normal until J-Mel, quote, took care of him. And I want to credit Dawn in the chat yesterday. I see why you have a pet in your profile photo because...
Sorry, now you can't see the message there. Fucking hell. Laughing about what happened. What the hell happened that the dog is barking normally? The dog is, quote, taken care of. And then the dog isn't barking normally anymore. The dog's making some weird little noises. And he laughs. But then, of course, because he's a pussy and doesn't stand on shit, when confronted about it, no, that's not what I said. I just said the dog was making weird noises. No, you were laughing about the fact that something just happened to that dog that made it go from barking normally to making weird noises. Barry, thank you for the super chat, girl.
Dawn was out here handing Jovan the shovel. And Jovan took it and proceeded to dig himself deeper. But before we hear that, let me give you a little bit more context. Here is Jovan deflecting. Everyone else, rather than Jovan, should be accountable for their actions.
That I laughed at a dog sound? These people can kick old people. These people like Kaya, I'm getting strikes, and Kaya can live, who dated a guy who did what he... These people can do all of this shit. But me laughing at a dog sound? I mean...
Just like Chantal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but. I'm getting called out for something I did. Yeah, but we can support Kaya, which we don't. Yeah, but we can beat old people, which we don't, unless you're Breezer, okay? There's no yeah, but. And it doesn't change that you weren't laughing at the weird sound that the dog was making. You were laughing at whatever the fuck had just happened to that dog to make it go from barking normally to making weird sounds. Like you enjoyed whatever the fuck happened to that dog. You think it's funny. Tad Von B, thank you for the super chat, girl.
Tell me you ain't got nothing without telling me you ain't got nothing.
You know, Jovan, I am so glad you feel strongly about this stuff because the whole cat clip is going to be a real issue for you. Because, you know, when you say we don't have nothing, we have a lot. And I want to play the second clip of Jovan that day, citing the dog was struggling. Because after this, we're going to go back to yesterday. But I want for Jovan to make it emphatically clear.
That dog is struggling, bro. I don't know what you did, bro. I really don't know what you did.
So remember, he doesn't know what JML did to the dog. Because he's about to try to paint a totally different picture. That it was just making noises. And then he tries to say it was a sound in a video game. Yes, Madden NFL football, clearly a game known for animal noises. But I want you to watch how he tries to weasel his way out of this.
Carolina Kissmark donated
Exactly.
$2 through Super Chat. Is it a dog sound in a game?
Is it the dog sound? Yeah, it was one of the like sound bites that he had that he was just
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a sound in the game. It's a sound bite. You fucking rat bitch. I love, again, when you can take someone's video, something they said on video, and it's not a he said, it's literally you said, and now you're trying to walk it back because you're a fucking pussy who doesn't stand on a goddamn word he says. You're a piece of shit, and Girl World doesn't want anything to do with you. You're done here. Okay? This is an animal-loving community. The last thing we need is somebody laughing at the struggling sounds, quote, that the dog is making after God knows what happened to it. Or hearing you cackle about possibly killing a cat because you kicked it so hard. Okay? Jessica, thank you for the super...
And Gorlick Bread articulated on this video on his channel that he wanted people to circulate it. Please copy it. Please discuss it. Because we are an animal-loving community. And fortunately, I don't know if they actually play the sound, but it is on the original video that Garlic Bread posted, where he got the clip from Yo Mama's channel, and it is some whimpering muffled whimpering that is really scary sounding.
That's right. Hold your fur babies extra tight and shake your fucking head. It's no wonder this piece of shit is on the side in this community of the two other animal abusers, right? We now know 3 animal abusers in this community. Amber?
Yeah, that's the thing, Keem. When you're just willy-nilly saying, yeah, I'd put Amber Lim on Queens, are you aware of all of, I mean, she has several exes coming out right now speaking about how she was abusing them, that she was mentally, physically, in some cases, and most importantly, financially abusing her partners. And when she went to Wisconsin to stay with her most recent partner, her cat just mysteriously disappeared. Her cat of many, many years. She said she left the door open for 20 minutes. This is not the first cat that she has coaxed out of the house. Ask about Gracie.
Chantal? And Slow Mama. Shit really does find each other in this community. Lee Breechies, thank you for the super chat.
Running around with. So again, this is the real Jovan, right? He clearly knows he was laughing at this dog. He gets confronted about it. And that long break that I left in there, that was him thinking. And he comes out and says, oh, it was a soundbite that he had.
You know what, Luna, thank you for the super chat, but cocaine doesn't make you abuse animals or think animal abuse is funny. Cocaine makes you ballsy enough to tell a fucking story like that, laugh about it, and then walk it or attempt to walk it back and think that everyone around is dumb enough to believe the walk back. That's cocaine balls. He's got some cocaine balls. We don't have cocaine balls, and we're not clouded in judgment by the coke either. Animal abuse, laughing at animal abuse. There's no walking that back.
I've known of Jovan for probably 15 years. This is a very long-term pattern of behavior. When Jovan is caught in a lie, he says the first thing that comes to his mind as a response. In this case, he wanted to pretend that this was just a soundbite. But then, as he goes to talk...
I'm about to try this new popcorn.
But then, as he goes to talk through this, he realizes that he's lying again. So he has to think of another lie to correct himself. And this creates a scenario where he has to correct his own lies on the fly. And that is exactly what happens here.
You know, and I was like, oh, look at that. No. It was, let me see. It was, oh, his dog, no, it was his real dog running around. His dog was running around, and then he was just playing a game, and the dog made some weird sound.
Now, if you've watched this video,
So it's not a soundbite. So we went from laughing about whatever the fuck happened to that dog to claiming that it was a soundbite in the game to now it was not a soundbite again and that was his actual dog running around. Which one is it? Don't do drugs, kids. This is what happens to your brain. Julia, thank you again for super chat.
the prior video, you know that's not what happened at all. This was Jovan's video. Jovan mocked that J-Mel was asked to take care of the dog. He laughed at it afterwards, but now he wants to pretend, it was a soundboard. It wasn't a real dog. But don't worry, Jovan, as promised, we have more. And this is why I told you, your name is good nowhere. You can't go anywhere in communities because honestly, you never know how someone will approach you. And this is a prime example, right? You're in a community right now that loves pets. You know this because you tried to take advantage of it. How much did you earn talking about BBJ? But after this, everyone's going to see how you truly feel about people's pets. And I have no doubt that your comeback to this is going to be this claim that, quote, I was a comedian back then. This was just a joke. No one understands this but me. Jovan, you are not an established comedian. This was not filmed in a comedy club. So again, in mixed company, you have no idea who would approach you over this with anger or with laughter.
And my opinion, because I also think he's going to try and minimize and pretend like it was all jokes and guys, I'm just telling jokes and you know me, I just tell jokes and blah blah blah. The thing about jokes is that it's the public listening to the jokes who gets to decide what's funny and what's not. So if you claim this is jokes and to you that's all it is, that's fine. I don't think so. I've heard your jokes and I don't think it's funny. I think you're a sick motherfucker and it's my prerogative to think so. And it's everyone in this community's prerogative to think whatever the hell they want to think. So stand there and yell until you're blue in the face that it was just jokes. Doesn't change a goddamn thing and it'll never change what I heard. Okay? Laughing about it like the psychopath that you are. Jen, thank you for the super chat, girl. This is why I like animals more than people. Some people for sure.
So let's go back and hear Jovan talk about his neighbor having a cat pass.
I had a neighbor that had a funeral for their cat. A funeral. They didn't wrap that bitch up and throw it in the trash can. Well, had a whole the mother had a whole funeral. I said, what? Why? Try to invite me like this?
Boogie, how do you feel about this? Would you want him around Sammy? Tina, how would you feel about this? Would you want him around your dog? Even Becky, who shouldn't even be there right now, claims to have cats that she loves and takes care of. You want Yo-Yo Ma to come over and kick your cats? This is who you awarded Employee of the Month, Keemstar.
So for some context, obviously, Jovan was invited to a neighbor's home to pay respect to a cat that had passed away. Now, I would say that his response is relatively ungrateful. But let's also not forget, this is the same person that spent how many hours pretending to care about BBJ, other pets in the community. But if only Jovan would have kept it there. Jovan, however, decides he is going to give some suggestions on how he would have handled this situation.
Well, did you spend money on that? You didn't just wrap that bitch in a bag and throw it in the trash can for free?
I'm going to warn you.
Fucking hell. Sounds like Foodie Beauty, doesn't it? Bag or a box. Whoa. You spent money on that? A funeral for a cat? You didn't just wrap it up and throw it in the garbage?
After this point, it gets gross, right? It gets gross to the point perhaps it needs to be investigated. Because Jovan seemingly gets upset that the neighbor elected to have a funeral for their pet.
Here's the thing. Okay, so if you're a first-time pet owner and let's say you do not live in a house with a backyard where you could actually bury your pet and have a funeral, you can go to the local animal hospital where they will have cremation services available to you. I think you can have your pet cremated for somewhere around a couple $100. Probably depends on the size.
Jovan claims he is going to ask the neighbor where the cat was buried because he wants to go dig it up and throw it away. As Jovan would say in his videos,
when I heard that the first time, I had to go back. I was like, it's impossible. I just heard that. I must have misheard. My ears must have just, I don't know, given up on life. I had to go back and hear that again. This motherfucker wanted to go find out where the cat was, to dig up the cat and throw it in the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Dig up the cat and throw it in the garbage.
That's right.
What do you even say to that? I don't know what to say to that. This guy should be tested to see if he's a fucking psychopath. Luna, thank you for the super chat, girl.
Roll it.
I damn near wanted to find out where he buried that cat, so I can dig that cat up and throw it in the trash can myself.
Roll it.
I damn near wanted to find out where he buried that cat, so I can dig that cat up and throw it in the trash can myself.
Roll it.
I damn near wanted to find out where he buried that cat, so I can dig that cat up and throw it in the trash can myself. I'm gonna find out where that nigga buried that cat. I'm gonna ask him tomorrow. I'm gonna be like, yo, where did you bury that cat at anyway? Okay, cool. I'm gonna dig that. Put that bitch in a plastic bag and throw him in a goddamn trash can where he belongs.
Now, at this point, I'm sure you all are thinking, how could this get any worse? Well, believe it or not, it does. Because if all of that wasn't enough, Jovan continues to talk, citing he had an interaction with the cat that could have led to its passing, which he goes into great detail.
It died like a couple months later, but it jumped and scared the shit out of me, and I kicked the shit out of it. So shit out of me, and I died like a couple months later, but it jumped and scared the shit out of me, and I kicked the shit out of it. So
Cheap orthotic shoes from Tenu are not.
it jumped and scared the shit out of me, and I kicked the shit out of it. So
So you know how since 2021 we've been talking about how the crackhead kicked the cat, kicked poor BBJ. BBJ got real spooked, and we went on about that.
For those of you who are not following Girl World, when she refers to the crackhead, she is referring to an ex-lover of Foodie Beauty, Chantel, who they were allegedly engaging in cocaine and meth and who knows what other substances.
For years, literally years. Here's the motherfucking ally of Chantal laughing like a psychopath about having kicked a cat. Kicked a cat because he got spooked by a cat, kicked the shit out of the cat, and is dying laughing over it.
how do that look, nigga? That's like going to a nigga funeral that you shot, one time. When, you know what I mean? I can't go to that nigga funeral. Can't go to that goddamn cat funeral after I kicked it. That's up. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to be there. I know the cat didn't want me there. The cat probably looking like, who invited this nigga? Nigga kicked me a month ago, cuz.
So, to be clear, Jovan is so certain he hurt this animal that he would assume the cat would not want him present for the funeral. My question is, Jovan, does your neighbor know any of this took place? Did you maybe explain to anyone how you, as apparently a grown man, could have been so scared by a cat that you kicked it multiple times because it jumped? But those are questions, again, for you to answer, Jovan. I'm sure the community is going to ask you these things. But I want to close this in part with one of your favorite topics, hypocrisy, right?
Frank
Because you
Fish,
love
thank
to,
you for the super chat. See you tomorrow.
you love to pretend that I defend Mike Vick. It's one of your big rally cries, right? And again, I know that you do this very strategically. You feel that if you can post these things, right, people will turn against me. So I felt, Jovan, it would only be fitting if everyone heard how you felt directly from you about Mike Vick. Because I am so glad, Jovan, that you used your platform to make a statement to project how you feel. I want to close this by thanking two people. Inferno for posting these clips, and Bridge for going through, cultivating hours of nauseating content for me to put all this together. And of course, when we can finally show Jovan for who he really is, and there's still other people in the community that want to continue to talk, there is no way that I cannot be back as soon as I can with more commentary.
Oof.
Mm-mm-mm.
Fucking hell. This fucking...
So 15 minutes after French Fried Girl did her live stream yesterday, Yo Mama took his channel down. He tried to lie about it and say he got a strike or a copyright strike or some such bullshit. But people have already investigated it, and if you go to his channel, it says that the user willingly took it down. So he took it down, and rumor on the street, allegedly he is getting doxxed like crazy right now. His neighbors are being interviewed to find out which one of them had the cat funeral so that they can be made aware that he made these statements online about them. But Keemstar, I'm sure he was a fantastic employee for you this month. That's just great. Okay, let's cover Twiggy's behavior. This is not the first time. Fatcamp, not the first time that he's behaved this way. He has been belligerent and uncontrollable on the channel before. He derails conversations. He goes on to the other shows and derails conversations. And on a lighter note, Glammy needs to stop doing that too. She's aware that she has ADHD. She's openly admitted it. She talks in circles and she overstays her welcome. She doesn't just go there, discuss the one topic, or deliver the one piece of information. She wants to sit through the whole goddamn show. And most of us don't want to hear her as part of the conversation. We want to hear the hosts that were selected for these shows, Glammy. So, again, with your main character syndrome, please keep it to yourself and become a team player. God damn, some of these people. But anyway, Twiggy is right up there with Becky as being one of the biggest goddamn whiners in the Lolcow universe. And I really think that if they love him so much because he's willing to run around barefoot on gravel, very impressive. You guys are, you're making all these complaints about this little Christian camp that you've gone to. Not like thousands upon thousands of Americans, including myself, haven't been to facilities exactly like where you're staying or done actual camping in tents on the ground. Oh my gosh, it must be so rough. and Twiggy whining about having to be, in this high profile roadie position where he's running around and getting things and helping with the camera and shit like that. Twiggy, I was working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, with a 2.5 hour commute on top of that. Every week, walking some of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Los Angeles to get voters to sign petitions to put to put measures on the ballot. You want to swap? You want to try it out? Because I ended up getting bit by a bulldog and now I'm permanently disabled. But I'm sure it's so fucking rough for you. You must be so tired. That sucks. Perhaps you should actually go to bed rather than seeking therapy from nightmare for 8 goddamn hours.
Twiggy, him and I are always fine, but you guys were not happy, all right? And that comment section, that Discord, woo, whoo, whoo, He was. He was catching the smoke. All right, but hold on. I know what. This is what everyone really wants to know, right? I'm going to give you my live reaction to Becky coming back. Oh my God. I can't believe she is back. Nobody saw that coming. That was insane. Holy moly. I really thought she was gone. Dude, no one believes that crap. No one believes that she wasn't going to show up. I literally called it that she was going to show up late ages ago. On other episodes, I said she was going to show up. I said that she was going to show up when everyone was already there and be like, look, it's me, guys. And she was expecting everyone to be like, and they were all like, what the fuck are you doing here, bitch? I literally called it. I literally fucking told. I need to stop swearing because it's not been 5 minutes. I literally told you that that's exactly what was gonna.
It did. It was hard. It was a hard watch because I think a lot of us who were watching were waiting for the moment when Keem said something to the effect of, "You have 20 minutes to get off this property before we call the police and have you escorted off." And instead, he showed us what a disgusting coward he is once again.
Happen. Okay, I did. But let's do this together, all right? Oh my God, I can't believe she showed up. Dude. You know what, bro? Actually, though, like, massive, like, shout-outs to Lolcow Live for the milestone they hit today with those donos. That was insane. Lily Musai with $10. G'day to my favorite Aussie boys. Insert Xenoblade advertisement here, bro. I'm gonna play me some Xenoblade. But you know what? I'm not gonna spend too much time on intro. Okay, we're gonna go talk to ye old Twiggy when he jumps in. Let me just get it all set up. Or he messaged me. What did he say? He said he'll be in shortly.
Yeah, dude was late to his own show because he decided to crash Lolcow Live and ask for donos to take his pants off. He has no sense of responsibility for his own show and is constantly trying to cozy up with the big boys who actually have more influence within the universe.
Well, he's usually in shortly.
But I imagine a lot of others don't, right?
There was a little bit of hate. A little bit.
Yeah, but a little bit of hate is good. I mean, I guys, look, I know it's terrible, but like, a lot of stuff's happened this week. A lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we were one of the most talked about shows almost all day.
But at what cost? At what cost?
I was a little angry. All right.
Why were you angry? Was it because of Roxy?
I angry? No.
He needed to steal the thunder from the big fight that happened on Lolcow Rewind between Xylee and Billy. He couldn't be outdone, so he needed to bring his weird ass, stupid, bitchy trauma, you whiny little bitch, to Aussie. And he did it 2 nights in a row.
No.
What were you angry about?
Speaking of Roxy, old maid. Dude, I've been torturing Roxy though. It's been great. I'll just run up, like I'll just see her and I'll start charging.
Which is shit because Roxy was saying some really nice things about him earlier in the day. It's as if Keem has made him a golden boy, which is disgusting.
At her like a dickhead.
That's just weird, bro.
But no, dude, she runs screaming. It's great. I'm an evil person.
Okay. So, all right. Talk me through what happened yesterday because it was very uncomfortable for me, and I spent a long time doing damage control afterwards.
Which you
because
choose to do,
people
by
were
the way.
very. I know. I chose. It's because I care about the people. All right. I'm not going to say I had to because I didn't have to, but they were upset, and I was upset for them. So I just want to know where you were coming from.
I was coming from a point of like, you know, I'm tired of seeing people blow opportunities that they may never get back.
Bro,
right?
Big Moose just became
And
a
if
crown,
you're-
dude.
Wow, dude, that's
What the
and
fuck?
he's still banned. And he's still banned.
But see, dude, Big Moose, bro, he's
a supporter.
Holy shit, Big Moose, bro! Thank you so much, dude. That's fucking wild. Holy
wild.
crap! You know what?
That's cute.
That's insane.
Wonder Woman's getting, just a little bit of cuddles right now.
Is that actually a thing? Is it a real thing?
Did you see the pictures I sent?
No. I saw a picture of Keemstar standing behind them.
Yep, that was it.
Oh, was
I'll
that the
just
only
send you what I'm
photo?
seeing right now. I don't care. I'm sorry, Scott. That's okay, right? You got a chair in your way, so we're good. We're good.
Well, so you
I'm gonna
can't
take a
see
little
his
selfie
boner.
for y'all. Hold up. I'm going to send you some pictures I took of Baja.
But hold on,
Alright,
can we just appreciate Big Moose just for a second? Like, oh my god, thank you for becoming a crown, bro. I really appreciate it, dude. Holy crap, he is banned, but he still supports. He still gifts. He still supports. He maintains that he did nothing wrong, and you know what? I hope that it gets resolved one day. But if not, we still appreciate you. You gonna?
Yeah, we most definitely.
All right, you gonna send that to me, or are you gonna put it in a Discord? It's gonna be.
I'm gonna
Lolcow
send the
Aussie
pictures
exclusive.
of Baja to you. Yeah, they're gonna be a Lolcow Aussie exclusive because they are gold.
Can I can show them?
Gold. I'm sorry.
One of my favorite things about her leaving was that there was no more alliance and no more stupid fucking. and now she's back. The first thing that you guys talk about is that you're going to. Because like the alliance is rekindled, and that you're going to be targeting different shows now. What?
Keep watching. If your recent car accident.
You know what? Just tell them about it while I find the photo. Where the fuck did you post it?
Well, so last night I was not my normal self, not my usual self, right?
Definitely.
But earlier today, after Becky was screaming, because dude, her showing up just.
Have you guys ever seen Yogi Bear's First Christmas? And the villain is a kid named Snively. That's who he reminds me of. Snively. Who's constantly trying to sabotage everybody.
It was a complete blindside to me, right? Like I'm sitting here, I'm sitting behind the computer, right, just watching the stream, and I'm kind of moderating the chat, but not really because it was funny, right? And then all of a sudden, Grim just runs in, and he's like saying, "Hey, Keem, you need to come out here now." Blah 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 blah. Keem thinks he's trolling. I thought he was trolling. Because Grim took my place outside while they were making the brisket earlier. We had some good brisket, by the way.
It looked really nice. It looked like it was just melting in your mouth sort of thing.
And yeah, so eventually she just walks in. I don't know how she got in. I don't know how she got the code. I have so many questions, right? But I have a few suspicions, but I can't get into it. And then, yeah, when she came out, not of the closet, but out of the little theater room.
Fuck's sake.
I approached her and I was like, "Hey, everything all right? I'm surprised to see you here." And she.
Can I interrupt you just for 1 second?
Yes, you can.
I'm so sorry. When I said don't go over to fucking Kevin Smith's channel, we're not doing this again, I genuinely fucking meant it, okay? Do not go over and antagonize Kevin Smith. I mean it. Don't fucking
What's going on
do
with Kevin Smith again?
He's on at the same time. And like I'm getting sent screenshots of our people trying to bring up fucking Lost in the chat again. You know who you are, and I know who you are. You son of a bitch.
That is so funny. It is so funny. Oh my god.
Why did I read that out? Speaking of reading things out, Power Edge with the $10 said, "What's up, legends in the chat and Kings Rastov and Twiggy?
What up, baby?
Do you think Do you think that people would be more pissed off at you if they weren't so distracted by the fact that Becky showed up today?
I'm just taking advantage of that.
Dude, it blows. I literally feel like Jesse Pinkman right now with the he can't keep getting away with it. He just can't keep getting away with it.
I don't know. It's like the universe kind of molds things around me, right? Because every time I have a bad moment, something worse happens, and then I look better, right? And then, I don't know the best way to put this, right? But a good amount of the hosts on my side, the people who were here, they know. The ones who don't,
No, I don't think they are. I think you're dealing with work colleagues who are looking at the power dynamics of what's going on within your organization, Twiggy, and that they feel like they have to be good to you because Keem likes you. But the reality is, you are one of those employees that everybody fucking hates. Nobody wants you there. You're miserable. You're smug. You don't know what you're talking about. If your content was so great, you would have improved the numbers of this channel, which you have not. Okay? And the only reason you're getting extra viewers at this point is because people want to see you crash out and see how long this goes on for. But you're sick.
FOMO.
Fuck off. Well, James, re-up this pay pig saying this is the Aussie I love, and you know what, dude? I gotta give James a big ass shout out because he helped me out a lot because I was feeling a certain way. And he DM'd me. We had a conversation, and he made me feel a lot better about it. So,
yeah, and Rostov has been very generous, very flexible and generous in this situation where he is being defamed, Twiggy, constantly defamed by you, manipulated, gaslit. You are the goddamn worst, and you shouldn't be in front of a camera.
I just want you to know I really appreciate you, bro. I really do.
And I want y'all to know, like, me and Rostov, we were
fine.
to each other last night in the chat, but we were fine. Like, we're gonna go back and forth, but we always know, like, sometimes you gotta get it out, right? And it's not the best to do that online. It's not a good idea, but we're not. It's kind of a part of this whole, like, entertainment thing. We kind of want to just get our grievances out, and, like, if we're gonna be real, I guess we've gotta.
We made an agreement that we'll never go to bed angry, is basically what Twiggy is saying, okay? Welcome to Bamworld, Million. This is the picture of Twiggy and Becky, and he put it in the chat that they were going to take over the LCU.
He's there at the top of the hill.
People enjoy our show more when it's just us two.
Mm-hmm.
And that when other people jump... I know it's Fatcamp, right? You can't avoid having other hosts and stuff there, and that's totally fine. But I get where the viewers are coming from as well.
Yeah, but there's, like, it also depends, right? Because, like, some of the people we have had on, they're people who we've frequently, had on, and we'll hop over onto their shows. And we kind of have this camaraderie. For one, two, we have an agreement with almost every host that if you want to come on, come on.
Totally. I fully agree. I think it was mainly the alcohol stuff people were getting annoyed at.
Well, no, and yeah, but it's really not, like, I guess what you see on camera is, going to be your only idea.
Yeah, that's their only point of reference. My only point of reference as well, to be fair.
Yeah, no, dude, the drinking's not that bad. It really isn't. Like,
seems like the vibes changed today. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. I'm not meaning to.
Yeah, no, you're good, right? But, like, we've hit different milestones, right? And we've celebrated. That's about it. Like, we had, I don't even know the best way to put it. Like, tomorrow, we're getting plastered.
Oh, Jesus.
We had a great stream tonight. We're getting plastered. It's certain, like, notable community members who are here, there's I can't remember who. That's why I'm being so like discreet about it. If I knew, I'd tell you. But somebody's leaving tomorrow. I don't remember who it is.
He gifted another 20, by the way, another 20 memberships, bro. Thank you so much. And I saw a comment saying that we glossed over him becoming a crown. Dude, no, Big Moose knows just how much I appreciate him. Maybe Twiggy showed a little bit more, but I really appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much.
I'm just a little low energy. I literally went to take a nap earlier, and like as soon as I like got to the point where I was like, dozing off, I had to go frickin' fix milkers. So I had to handle that. And then I was just I was either behind the computer right there, behind this camera right here, outside, just moving stuff around. There's not really much downtime, and it's more fun than just, laying around and just chilling to me. I have to be moving at all times.
Right.
Like, something you may not know about me is that I'm a pacer, right? I'm always moving. Yeah,
There's gifs of you in the Discord just walking back and forth.
Yeah, he's an attention whore. He wants to get as much camera time as possible.
Past the fucking theater.
I was actively grabbing stuff that we needed. We were going through like water and just 7-Up and stuff because I was sitting there, dude, for almost the whole time.
I saw you give Billy a little kissy kiss on the head. I saw that. It was really sweet.
Did you see me push? I pushed Baja in front of the door in the wheelchair.
No, I didn't catch that part. But
I
you
did the worm in front of the door while they were listening to music.
That was cool. Actually, seeing them all listen to music was really nice. You Sussy re-upped this cash cow and said, I cancelled all my subs, but this show, Becky is the biggest L of the LCU.
So this is how their stream started. This is like the first 20 minutes of the stream. Very shortly after this, Twiggy takes over again with his main character syndrome, his whininess, the fact that he feels like he's very misunderstood, and it's too much. Who the fuck cares, Twiggy? You're supposed to be part of a team. So by the end of that show, Rastov said he didn't want to work with Twiggy anymore, and the Docket team members quit. I don't have time in my day to watch the entire shows. As you can see, the next one he went on and dominated, 8 hours and 18 minutes. Twiggy, you whiny fucking little bitch. Are you for real?
Your host, Nightmare, and soon to be joining me in a second is your boy Grim, and this is Lolcow Test. I'll let Grim adjust the camera and come take a seat, brother, and then we'll get into this. This has been an interesting day. You gonna go on that side? Right, okay. Take this chair, right? Yeah. It's a fucking awkward setup, dude. Sorry, guys, bear with 2 seconds. Have you got your phone so we can have a look at the chat? So, crazy update. Aussie rage quit, and I'll get into it. And didn't give us a redirect. Didn't give us any moment to actually sort it out. Just straight up ended the stream and fucked us over. I don't know if it's a bit he's pulling, but I think it was more of the reaction of the fact that they were just getting flooded with shit because of the stuff they were doing and the way they were treating their viewers. It was just actually unbelievable, to be honest with you. Like, the level of fucking entitlement when you're still trying to build yourself up in an industry that's literally been gifted to you. And you have this...
I was trying to prepare everything, and that was so last second.
And you fuck over, like, your fellow boys for what? What the fuck is that about? Like, what is that actually about? So if anyone's done any, like, chats. We're literally loading up so we can see. I do apologize, guys. What we got so far?
Is that good for you?
Yeah, what's up there in the top there?
I think it was memberships.
Big Moose, welcome to BAM World. Let's go further up. I'm Big Moose with a 10 gifted. Diolch yn fawr, Big Moose.
Thank you so much, Big Moose.
Sorry guys, we generally haven't had a chance. Like the thing, like Fatcamp's been a bit of a wild one. I've loved every minute of it, right? Don't get me wrong, and I'm sure Grim can say the same thing. You're meeting everyone, all these cool opportunities, having fun with the content has been phenomenal. Waffles with the $10. Mr. Dr. Midnight, hi, fucking... Mike knows my fucking name, okay? I'm fucking telling you now, he knows my fucking name. He's such a bastard. He pulled a fucking dog water on me. So yeah, I can see some of you in chat have come from Aussie. I really, really appreciate that, guys, genuinely. Let's dive into this a little bit. So, going into the situation on hand, we've not had much time to plan, and Grim's not felt well tonight, which is a shit because he's been working non-stop as well. So like it adds to the problem. So we haven't had a chance to plan any.
Yeah, that's kind of amazing that he's actually probably putting in more hours than Twiggy and hasn't been complaining. He hasn't been having meltdowns in front of the camera. Right? Because he's a big boy. He knows how to hold his job down, yes?
Thing, and we were going to have a discussion before Aussie went live, and literally Rostov decided to fucking cry like a little fucking girl and end the stream early. And guys,
no, it's not up to you to decide. He's been having to put up with this bullshit for a long time, and it's up to the boss to determine that that guy, Twiggy, is too unhinged to be in front of the camera.
you can say L Twiggy, but Twiggy didn't fuck us over here. Okay?
Okay.
I don't give a
stream.
Yeah.
Your content.
They literally fucked us. Like, this is...
Yeah. You know what? There's a lot of people at Fatcamp who have literally fucked the remote workers and blamed them for your continual tech issues that you have on site. So you can quit your whining too, Nightmare.
This is the thing, right? He ended that stream early knowing that it would fuck us over. Because he didn't give a shit.
I think Twiggy knows full and well, the character that he's portraying, or at least,
Look, guys, you can say Twiggy. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Twiggy, can you please actually fuck off for a few minutes? Just let us get through this, right, man? I get that you guys are blaming Twiggy, all right? Okay, that's fair. I'm not saying that Twiggy hasn't caused animosity or any shit. What I'm saying is that Rostov ending the stream early has fucked us. That's what I'm trying to say, right? And I just don't get it. I'm not disagreeing with you in this situation. To be honest with you, I thought...
Yeah, well, your sound issues really fucked over Xylee the other day. And when that scene went dark, in the sense that you had no sound coming in from Fatcamp whatsoever, she lost her cool immediately. And she even snapped at Rostov, who was sitting in to help her as the stand-in for Billy until he got there. And he then barked at Rostov and used his figurative weight to talk shit about Rostov for even being on the show, despite the fact that Xylee asked him to be there. You guys got to get your shit together.
Streaming in total was a massive fucking L on both grounds. Listening to it was purely fucking painful, if I might be honest. I just genuinely didn't see how anyone would find it enjoyable at all. And again, that's not being disrespectful to them. I love them both to death, but they really screwed the pooch on that one. And again, we make mistakes all the time, right? Like, you can agree with me. But yeah, it's not fucking. This ain't great, man. This is just a massive fuck you to us. I don't think you said no show has ever done this before, where they've just
Literally, I can't think of. I mean, I've been watching Lolcow since its inception.
That's not true. Shut the fuck up. Queens has done that to Rewind several times.
I've yet to think of one instance. The only thing I can think of is when Becky did it. Like, whenever she took the show on to hostage. But I remember, like, minutes later, she would bring back up the stream and then continue doing what she did. But she didn't, like, end it entirely and then just left it as is to dry. She always picked it right back up. So we can at least give her that. But no, this is the first time ever where a stream has been...
No, you can't. Because she said goodbye to the audience. You have a procedure. You say coming up next is XYZ show, and we're going to have the redirect set up for you. You guys, that is the biggest irritant for me, is watching all of these people simp for this little brat just because he is being a gopher. Shut the fuck up.
cut off early, but not only early, but also because of just, like, you know, rage, I guess you could say. And then they don't come back with it, you know, or like regret the decision or anything along those lines. Like, this feels like a sudden blow of just like, you know what, fuck it, fuck everything, fuck everybody, don't give a fuck, I'm out, you know. And look, understandably so, you know, Rastov feels like Twiggy's just pretty much like been after him, you know, or whatever the case. But in all honesty, I mean, Twiggy and Twiggy may disagree with me here when I say character, but it's only for the sake of understanding, like, you know, his persona on camera and you know.
No, I'm sick to death of these excuses that you're using personas on camera to be rude to your co-hosts. Not acceptable.
He said,
Watch what eating before bed does to your skin. What you eat for dinner might have a greater impact on your skin.
I think he always
so SMD basically said, is this really Rastov liking every comment that likes him with a screenshot of compiled messages?
Let me see.
We don't have to read. It's not by
Oh
reading
my
them, but
God.
it's just him liking all the messages of the people supporting, which is nothing wrong with that. I positively react to people who are nice to me. I'm not going to ignore them.
To be fair, I do the exact same thing, so I'm not going to put that on.
But this isn't weird.
Razzie Tazzy.
So, you know, Gino's been working with them, right? And Gino has been very, being renamed as Nice Gino, and saying that, you know, Rastov, you know, everyone's more mad at Rastov actually trying to make a podcast when it's clear as day that Twiggy is the wrong content creator for the podcast role. Give Twiggy a camera, make him an IRL streamer, have him go around trolling the host of
Holy
Fatcamp.
shit, that's actually... At
Not a
first I
bad
was disagreeing,
idea.
but actually...
That'll be
Hold
good.
on, Twiggy, what do you think about that?
Now, this is
That ain't me, bro.
where
Really?
I
Yeah.
really start to like it.
Hold on,
So
hold on.
Do you know that?
You don't think you could be an IRL streamer?
No.
Why?
Why not?
It's just not like, I don't feel as comfortable there as I do like in a setting like this, if that makes sense.
You don't feel safe.
No, it's not even that. It's
like,
just
it's
that,
not a
like,
bad thing to be
there's a
safe.
difference. There's a difference between, like, you know, messing with people online, right? Talking a little bit of shit and then going into people's, like, daily lives who have nothing to do with this entertainment stuff and messing with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, you don't
because-
have to mess with people.
Well, no,
That's
you
you.
don't. But that's what I enjoy messing with people, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But like when it comes to like this universe, like this, maybe it started out as like a simple podcast, right? With Lolcow Live.
Sure.
But it has become something so much more than that.
Yeah.
Sally wants to be the main character today, you guys. Alright. Let's see how long I got with her here.
It's not a podcast, it's a show, right? Like, it's not somewhere where two people are just, I mean, it can work. Like, you can have shows like that in this network where you just have two people who are, just talking,
Yeah.
shooting shit a little,
Yeah.
right? But that's not me. I've always been somebody for drama, right? I've been kicking, I've been stirring the pot
You're
since the
monologuing.
day I joined the server. That's the reason I even became a supporter of the community. It's because I like to troll and mess with people.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And
Me too.
that's why I was picked for the show.
That
Right.
makes sense. So,
I just want to finish the Gino comment situation.
real quick, and then
Fucking
Hold on,
sake,
hold on.
man.
That'll be the last thing.
I just had to listen to a fucking like the
It's
first
really
fucking
important.
episode.
It's really important. Once you hear it, you're gonna be like,
Go
okay,
for
I
it.
understand. All right.
Okay, so apparently they had a donor who requested to see Twiggy and Rostov hash it out. This is towards the end of what would have been their live stream, I assume. And then Nightmare continued on for 6 hours to act like a therapist, while Twiggy was main character again.
Way to bring in?
Bugs is leaving, right?
Brooks is gone.
Oh, right. So you didn't listen to me say that son of a bitch.
All right, so full screen it?
Yeah, full screen it.
All right, awesome.
My mantra is that every next
Yeah, full screen it.
All right, awesome. Give me 1 second, because I've got to disable the camera.
And to be fair as well, since we're going to be talking about this a little bit, if Rostov wants to pop up and say his piece, that's completely fine. I'll probably have to revert to mediator rather than actually, engage on the level I'm going to do now. But yeah. God, please no Twiggy. Look, Twiggy's not going to be doing what he did in... Did you switch to the full screen?
Yeah, there's just a little bit of a delay.
By the way, just earlier this week, they brought Nightmare on Aussie to help control Twiggy's belligerent, drunken behavior, and Nightmare ended up getting kicked.
Yeah, no noise.
We're good.
I hear your name. Okay, beautiful. Twiggy's not going to be doing what he did on Aussie. Okay?
No, there was no intention of doing that.
I know. But I'm just saying that he's not going to be doing that. It's just going to be... We're gonna.
Yeah, that is exactly what... I mean, I went to sleep, Nightmare, and I woke up and you guys were still going, sounding like some sort of crazed therapy group.
Sex some stuff and get a little bit in depth with some
Yeah, and that's fine. Like I'm an open book, right? As long as I'm not talking about stuff that has nothing to do with like the network, with the shows, right? Like my personal life, my marriage, stuff like that, stuff that doesn't need to be out there.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not bothered by, talking about my fuck ups. I'm not bothered about talking about my mistakes. Now I'm always going to be, almost unreasonably stubborn, right? But but I've been very forward about it from the beginning. And like I know I messed up. There's no denying that. But also like there's just so much that goes on behind the scenes too. A lot of like me being told that I don't have a good personality for this.
Okay. So who like are you?
Yeah, you don't. You're defaming your co-host on a regular basis.
Referring to Rostov saying that to you?
Yeah, when it comes to like the whole crackhead side of stuff, like the reason I was brought on is because I'm unpredictable.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
you've been designated as a wild card.
Yeah, but Rostov says that's not good for the show, and that if I'm who I am, like even here with you, right? Like I'm calmer right now. But if I ever let out like I guess any of my actual thoughts about anything or how I not necessarily feel, right? Because
good night, Gina.
If I ever talk about, things I don't like even if I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
Anytime I get a little negative, it's not allowed, right?
Okay.
So like the only time I'm able to go after other hosts when Rastov has an issue with those hosts, right? Like,
I mean,
like Zay. That's if it wasn't for the fact that they didn't have issues, he would have had a massive problem with me starting stuff with nerds.
okay. Do you not feel that the way you've portrayed yourself in Fat Camp? I say more the show with Ozzy tonight, and yes, did you not feel that maybe you overstepped a certain situation?
No, I mean, I
Like,
I can
looking
see that as
back
a
at it now-
possibility. Yes.
Yeah, looking back at it now with a little bit of more of like, I've had
Yeah.
a bit of a gap from it, and I've had to think like, what,
Well, I mean, I did, but also like you got to remember, we talked about we talked a lot about like how we were gonna do stuff for Fat Camp. We knew we wouldn't be able to like I wouldn't be able to see his face or anything like that. But we knew we were going to talk about like different perspectives of things that happened at Fat Camp, because there's a lot of people here who, when they get on their show, right?
they're gonna cover it. Yeah.
Well, they've got to do their show, right? So you may not even have as much
you
time.
mean like because they're at Fat Camp already? So
Yeah.
Oh, just real quick. So, Mafsy with the 20 Australian dollar reduce. Is that a glory hole behind Twiggy for little pin willies? Yes, Mafsy. Yes, it is. The Alchanvar, by the way. Sorry, man. As you were saying.
I don't even remember.
So we were talking about like, do you have any sort of like?
Oh yeah, like
Yeah. All right.
like so basically, the best way I can put this is that, I mean, this is gonna make me sound worse, and I'm okay.
By the way, his accent's fake and he lives in the States. He has no business being on the Aussie show. And you guys should change it to Oceana.
With that, but like most of my work that I did behind the scenes was me having to like coddle, right?
Right.
There was never any.
This is what I'm talking about with the defamation. Sweetheart, that's not coddling. He's literally trying to have conversations with you about your behavior, and you are just gaslighting him. Like, seriously, I don't know anybody who would want to work with you.
Issues unless Rastov got emotional. That was the only time there was ever any issues. That was the only time there was any problem with the dynamic, right?
Okay.
Like one of the first notable times it happened is because he kept on telling me I was in my head, and I was just so confused why like the whole dynamic shifted.
Are you on about the time where you guys were like more or less arguing for like 5-6 streams when I was on with you?
Kinda, yeah,
Okay,
because he would keep on telling me like, I'm in my head, like I need to take a break because I'm not, I'm showing up and I'm just phoning it in. When that was never the case, and I've always had confidence.
Oh, so when you had all these sidebar conversations and weren't even paying attention to what he was saying, that's not phoning it in. You were completely distracted and not doing your job. Okay.
Right? That if we're doing something wrong, Keem will let us know about it. Right? And I was told, keep on doing what I'm doing. And then I would tell him that, like, I'm being told.
Yeah, well, it's pretty clear Keem is not the best decision maker. He doesn't even have an actual nurse on site. And you guys have a facility that is swarming with cottonmouths and rattlesnakes. Nice work, Keem.
That what I'm doing is good, just to let it out. But then he would say basically, well, I don't care because the viewers don't like it. But he only focuses on the negative when it comes to the comments and not the positives, right?
Sometimes I you not becomes I you.
Right?
Yeah.
Which he is a
just
very
a-
good guy.
Sorry, just a real quick question, guys. There's no point.
Yeah, you know what? Becky got some positives yesterday on the donos as well. That means shit, Twiggy. Just because you've got a weird cult following does not mean that what you're doing is likable, especially when you jump onto other shows and start unloading your baggage on them.
arguing in the chat, you're not going to get a real resolution out of it because you don't know the full situation. That's what we're trying to dissect. If you want to ask Twiggy a question, pop a dono in and we'll ask him direct. But yeah, we're just going to continue. Carry on.
And like another thing is, like, yes, the biggest place where I think I messed up is going after the viewers, right? And I've got to be very clear. That was me rage baiting.
Yeah, no, I gathered that. The problem was because it's been the last few days of like you just going like a little bit like hyper on the situation, right? Which is
Sorry. I bumped my water glass and now she's freaking out. Okay, I think I've got her calmed down again. Let's go.
like it's not like terrible, but because you've done it in such a manner, when you do target the viewers, even though it is a way where I think because they know your character by now, that they know it would be a joke, but because you've done it in such a stack builder, they just did not see the funny side of it.
Yeah, no, and the fact that like I basically belittled people who are taking like not only the time out of their day to support the show, but also like taking money out of their wallet to support it. It's not okay.
No, I thought it was when you said that, I thought it was in very poor taste because we discuss about growth and building the community through the aid of the other Lolcow shows and within the Lolcow universe, because we want to draw more eyes to some to the things we do.
Well, I get in trouble for that too, right? Like whenever I go on the other shows, and I try to create like a little bit of content so people are brought to our show.
I get that, but what I mean is like to some people, then when they view the situation and assess you like speaking in such a mannerisms, they kind of think, well, this is like what damned if I do, damned if I don't kind of thing, and then they feel stupid for giving something a chance. Do you get what I mean?
No, dude, I've done a lot of stupid stuff. And I'm going to continue to make dumb decisions.
Which makes sense.
I can try to learn from them, and sometimes I'm stubborn, right?
But like stupid things aren't necessarily a terrible thing, right? Because you can you learn off like making mistakes and being a fucking idiot. You don't learn from being right all the time.
No, because how would you learn, right?
Exactly.
It's just like I'm genuinely a very happy person, right? Like I know I love negativity, but I'm a very happy person.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you were whining the other day that that Rostov was spreading rumors about you that were going to break up your marriage, when in fact it was Keem who had done it. And I don't believe for a second that you thought it was going to ruin your marriage. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been swapping clothes with Wonder Woman, which, by the way, such original content. I can't even, Twiggy. You think you're such hot shit. Oh, I'm so original. I'm going to put on some girls' clothes. That's never been done before. All right, kiddo.
Person. And my mindset is that you can't really enjoy being happy unless you have something the complete opposite to contrast it to or compare it to, right? So you can really enjoy being happy when you've been through some shit or some, bad shit's happened,
you can
right?
front on, right?
Yeah. I guess like my biggest issue is that I'm being told that I don't put in enough effort constantly, right? Constantly. And the thing about like with the docket and the research and stuff like that is I do want to be better at it, but I don't know if I have a mental block or what, but every time I look up topics or I'm trying to find something to cover on the show, it's
Mylindor Bar.
We're good.
Yeah. So the basis of this build-up then, it does come from a real place. So from the way you're acting is because you're perceiving the information he's given you, which you deem as overall negative, and you feel like when it comes to that, you're like, well, what can I do in this situation? So you've reverted to, well, let's just make everything a troll kind of thing.
Well, no, it's not even just that. It's like I'm constantly being told that, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I need to listen to the viewers, right? But then I'm being told by the boss, like the person who owns the network, that I need to do the opposite. But then when I don't, if I listen to the boss, then I'm the problem, right?
Yeah, that's real, right? If we listen to the viewers, we wouldn't have Fat Camp right now. So many people have said, like, this is now just end it. But then today's weird wild card wouldn't have happened. And people loved / hated it. You know, regardless, you watched it, you interacted with it, right? Like, that's the thing. And that's the beauty about these kind of shows. They're not like typical podcasts, which is why they come out as a chain, because they do bring their own unique elements. They do bring something different and just crazy.
You were talking to somebody who you spend 6 hours talking to, and he admits he only spends 20 minutes with his wife per day. He spends the rest of the day sleeping and is completely unavailable to his co-host to have team meetings and actually align what they're going to do on their show. Then he gets on there and just acts like a complete fucking asshole.
The field and to the table of which you will dine upon, ideally. Just real quick one as well. Alex Jones with a $19.99. Twiggy, my man. This honestly has felt like you saying everyone else's feelings don't matter, but then in the same breath explaining why your feelings are right. Get how that comes across?
I
Love
do.
you and Rostov both. Oh man.
Well, the difference is like I have stuff that can back up, you know, what I'm saying. Like, I'll tell Rastov about an idea that I have for the show, and then he'll completely dismiss it.
Why?
Because he says that it's going to make me look bad.
How will it make you, like, okay, what's the realm of, like, can you pitch me one of the ideas he shot down so I can get, like, an idea as well?
The whole idea of me doing anything, like, any kind of content with Becky was a complete no-go at first. I had to
so
talk
he
him
just
into
didn't
that.
want you to speak to her at all.
Becky was spending a lot of time trying to get sexual with other men in the universe. And Rostov was one of her targets. Twiggy is completely insensitive to that.
Not at first, no. I had to kind of, like, give him an idea of what I was going to do, right? But another big issue that we ran into is he would tell me, like, look, if you're planning something, don't tell me about it. Like, I want to have a genuine reaction because he can't act. So
okay, but that's just.
And I wouldn't want him to act. I want a genuine reaction because then it's not real.
Yeah, I know, I get that, but also, okay, so the Becky thing, let's unpack that.
He can't act. He doesn't know what he's doing. You're always right. He has some sort of mental issues, not you, right? Okay, anyway, I'm going to drop the links to all of these videos. And this is my review of Fatcamp. When it comes to the big boys working out, I think they're doing a great job. I think that it's wild to see the regulars who are screaming all the time being the more relaxing part of the show. This is stressful. This little kid should not be in front of the camera, Kane. And you need to start running some background checks on these people.